Greetings, dear doers. It's now time to unveil one of our most secret projects. From now on, our company, Stealthy Wood, will run secure places, such as secure meeting rooms with eavesdrop protection or even safe houses. To manage these properties efficiently, we will need a brand new, tailor-made app that will allow us to record new entries. Since creating new apps with Odoo Studio is fairly easy and requires no coding knowledge, we'll spend most of our efforts on designing the perfect app that will suit our needs. To enter the secure places on our database, I will first make a list of the entries I want to include on the form view. For the type of place, I will use a selection field so I can choose the type from a list of values, such as meeting room or apartment. To indicate the address, I will use a multi-line text field. I decided to go for a single field to make it easier to use. Maximum guess will be an integer number field so that I can easily research the places that have enough space for our customers' requirements. Integer number fields allow us to encode entire numbers. It would be strange to count half of a guest, right? Of course, I will also add a picture of the place. An image field will store the file as a binary value and display it as an image. Afterward, I'll create a few tabs and drop some checkbox fields that I will use for different facility options. An HTML field will also fit in perfectly for the description tab, as it will allow me to add formatted text. To indicate which contact is responsible for security, I'll add a many-to-one field that will allow me to connect the field to my contact list and select one of my contacts as the related value. And finally, I'll add a related field that will display the phone number of the security contact automatically. This form view seems like a good idea. So now that we've discovered a few types of fields that we can use, let's see how we can create this new app using Odoo Studio with the form view we've just designed, as well as a list view to display all of the entries at once. All right, here I am on my database. Now, of course, in order to create a new app, we need to open Studio. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, and then we're going to be able to click on this new app button. So let's go to next and choose an app name. So I'm going to call this Secure Places. All right, and then on the right, we're actually going to have the possibility to design our icon. Okay, so we can either upload an image or design it with the options that we have right here. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to choose purple on purple. I know the icon isn't very clear, but that's intentional. I want it to be a bit secretive. All right, and I'm going to choose a house because secure places makes sense. So we're going to go next and we're going to choose our first object name. Okay, so I'm going to say places here. Then I'm going to click on create your app and I'm going to be redirected to the new app still in Studio so that I can go ahead and start adding some fields, components, designing. All right, so first of all, I want to be in the form view, which I am looking at right now. Okay, to get there, we can simply click on this button, form view, in the top right, or we can go to views and form. All right, first things first, let's go ahead and select name here. And I'm actually going to change this. So I'm going to say secure place name, and this will also be the placeholder text as well. So secure place name. Okay, and then what we're going to do once we have the first thing done, we're going to go ahead and add an image field. So let's go to add image, and we're going to drag it and drop it to the place where we would like it to be. I'm going to select it so that I can change the label. So I'm going to say picture. Okay, and I'm actually going to change the image size as well. So I can choose between small, medium, and large. Right now it's small. I'm going to go ahead and select medium. Okay, so it's a bit bigger. And then I'm going to go back to add, and now I'm going to add a selection field. So I'm going to go to selection, again, drag and drop, place it, and with this field, I'm going to be able to add some possible values. Okay, so we need to add some values that we would like to choose between. So let's go ahead and add the first one. Okay, it's going to be meeting place. Okay, meeting room, let's say that. And I'm simply going to click on enter in order to add the next value. Okay, so then we'll say apartment. All right, house, then garden, and parking lots. Okay, now I can modify these easily by clicking here. Okay, and I can also change where they appear on the list by dragging and dropping. All right, then we're going to go ahead and confirm. All right, now after this, I'm going to select the new selection field, and I'm actually going to change the label as well. So I'm going to say type of place. And I'm also going to make this a required field. So I don't want someone to save a new secure place until they have selected the type of place that it is. So let's go ahead and choose required here. Then we're going to go back to add, and this time we are going to add a multi-line text, okay? So I'm going to choose multi-line text, scroll down. This will be for the address, so let's go ahead and say address. For the placeholder text, I'm also going to say address. We're going to go back to add again, and now we are going to choose an integer number field, okay? So let's go ahead and select that. It's right here. Grab, drag, and drop. Okay, so far you can see it's super easy. I almost have all of my basic information here, and it's barely taken me any time at all. All right, so for the new integer number, we're going to say maximum guests. So max guests. Okay, and I'm not going to add a placeholder. Okay. Then I can go back to add. Now this time we're not going to add another field. So as you have been able to see, we've been sticking in here with these new fields under this section, but now we're going to actually add a new component. Okay, so we're going to add a new tab. So let's go ahead, grab tab, drag and drop where we would like it to be. And here we have this new page. So first of all, I'm going to click on the tab itself, new page. I'm going to change this label. So I'm going to call this facilities. Okay, and then once I've done that, I'm actually going to label the different columns that are here by default as well. So the column on the left is going to be security, and the column on the right will be general. All right, this is where we're going to go ahead and add those checkboxes. So let's go to add checkbox. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and drag 3 checkboxes in the different places because I know what I would like to have in each section, and then I'm going to label them. Okay, so for the first one, let's say eavesdropping protection. Okay, then we're going to go to the next checkbox, and we will say bulletproof windows, which are very important. But it's not as important as the third checkbox under general, which is coffee machine. To me, this is the most important facility, okay? Or the most important facility option. Okay. Now what we're going to do is add another tab. So this is cool because we don't have to go back to components and drag and drop again. What we can do is simply click on this plus right here in order to easily create a new tab on this page. Okay, so we're going to go to new page. I'm going to call this description. All right, and what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to remove these columns that are there by default. So I'm going to click on remove from view. Okay, it's quite simple. Then we're going to add our HTML field right now. Okay, so I'm going to drag and drop. And of course, we're going to select and relabel. Okay, let's call this description. Okay, cool. Now, this looks good again so far. Again, super fast, super easy. I'm so happy with how convenient this is. Again, I don't have to have any coding knowledge, and I'm able to make it exactly as I want it to be. So let's move on. Let's make a third tab. Okay, so I'm going to click on the plus. Okay, and I'm going to call this third tab, let's call it security team. Okay, so label security team and enter. Okay, and then we're going to go to add. Okay, now I'm going to add a different kind of field. I'm going to add a many to one. Okay, so let's drag and drop. So when I have a many to one field, I of course need to select a relation. Okay, I need to tell Odoo what information to pull from. So we're going to click here and we're going to choose contact because again, I want this to be related to a contact that I may already have in my system. Then we're going to go to confirm. Okay, let's click on this field. Instead of contact, all right, we're going to say security company. Okay. Cool. Now, once we have that field, we can then add a related field. Okay, we're going to drag and drop it underneath, and the related field will be related to the security company, so to the many to one. All right, so we'll be able to scroll down and choose security company here. And then we're going to go down again, and we're going to choose phone and confirm. And once I've done that, I will select the new related field, change the label. So we're going to say phone. Okay, I'm going to add, I'm going to change the widget as well. So I'm going to say phone for the widget. And I'm also going to make this a read only. Okay, so now we have the phone and we have all of our different tabs and all of the fields that we need, the basic information. So I'm pretty happy with what we have so far. So what I'm going to do now is actually jump to the list view. Okay, so I'm in the form view now, as we have already seen. Then I'm going to go to the list view by clicking here, list view. So when I have different places, the only thing I'll see right now is the names of the different places. But actually, from the list view, I want to see some other information as well. All right, so what I'm going to do is add address and also type of place. So we can go down to the existing fields. We're first going to drag and drop address, and then we're also going to drag and drop type of place. Okay, and I'm actually going to change how this appears in the list view. So I want the secure place name to be first. So I'm just going to move it over, and then type of place, and then address. Cool. All right. This looks so great. So let's go ahead and create a new entry. So I'm going to close Studio, and then we're going to go to create. Okay, let's see this in action. So for the secure place name, all right, let's choose Red Eagle Hotel, and then we'll say meeting room number 1. Okay, we have to choose the type of place. And again, you know if it's a mandatory field if the line is in bold, which it is here. So let's go ahead and say meeting room. Then we can add the address, specify the maximum amount of guests. We can go ahead and select some of these options. Fortunately, they have a coffee machine. We can go to description, add one. So let's go ahead and say the best meeting room ever. Okay, we can format this differently if we like. I'm going to put it in bold. We can change the color, purple, of course. Then we're going to go over to security team, and I'm going to go ahead and choose one. But actually, I haven't added this contact to my contacts apps just yet, but it's okay because I can create one on the fly. So let's click on create and edit. Okay, so this is going to be the Jackson group. Okay, and then I'm going to add a phone number, okay, because I do need to know that information. So let's just add this quickly now and save. Now, when I added that phone number, it automatically populated the related field as well. So I didn't have to do anything. And of course, we're also going to add an image. So let's click on edit. I'm going to add the image, and then we can save. So now let's go ahead and check it out in the list view. We have our secure place name, type of place, and address. We can select on this, see all of the information. How cool is that? We just built a whole new app in hardly any time at all. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching.